Yep. Happy Halloween. I thought Rob would have on an outfit. No? All right. Well, going backwards, starting with the win over Virginia Tech, an incredible comeback by our guys and our staff. To be in a program that continues to rise up and fight and never quit it's a blessing as a coach. It's down 21-3, true freshman quarterback in the game, and guys just kept fighting, and then MJ sparked us, with that slot fade to Thayer, gave the team exactly what it needed at the right time, that we could score touchdowns and proof of life, and from there we just played lights out. I was proud of the defense for the first half and the fourth quarter. I thought they really played well, and offense didn't turn the football over. They just kept grinding and working to find ways to score points, and did a good job making some adjustments, had some good play calls. Our special teams, with the exception of a couple pooch punts where we could have covered better, I thought did a really nice job. Felt like it was the best night that Shane's had punting the football. I thought our kickoff coverage unit did a great job. We didn't kick the ball the way we wanted to, but had good hang time, and the guys got off blocks and tackled and created a fumble. I wish we would have recovered that one, but you see them straining and executing the schemes and setting up the offense or defense with field position on our special teams. It's fun to watch. I thought individually Peyton played really well, with the exception of the penalty on the sideline. I thought he had his best game. Davin Van really stood out the way he strains and chases the football on the defensive front. It was just a good night collectively. There was a lot of good things, where guys were playing hard and making plays. Offensively, it was great to have Trent Penix back, and sparked us in some ways, and obviously had a touchdown. Terrell Timmons getting his first couple catches, and Thayer and Devin Carter, I thought, really played well for us. Thayer obviously had a lot of touches and explosive play and a big play at the end, on the jailbreak screen. But Devin Carter really blocked well, had 5 contact catches in the game, and did some really physical things on the perimeter. As I mentioned, we didn't turn the football over. Had 3 touchdown passes in the second half. Time of possession was outstanding, 35 minutes. And we were better on third down, over 50% effective. We scored 2 touchdowns in the red zone, and the other red zone drive was a field goal before the half. The biggest thing, I thought, the way we finished, 5:35 on the clock and didn't give the ball back, with some really good blocking and tough runs by MJ and Jordan Houston. I thought Houston really, didn't probably produce throughout the game the way that he normally does because of the different things we were doing, but when we asked him to, he was great and was tough and got tough yards and put his foot in the ground. Negatives, we had 4 false starts, and one of them, their defense used our cadence, and the officials were able to get that stopped, and then we settled in. We missed some opportunities in the pass game, I thought, early in the game. But overall, just finishing blocks, we're on people, we're moving people, and then they're getting off, and we can create a few more explosive plays, I think, in the run game by just being a little bit better, just a little bit more movement, displacement, one more split second on a block. Defensively, the positives, in 3 quarters they had 47 yards, and first quarter, second quarter, and fourth quarter. And the negative to that is they had 177 on 3 plays in the third quarter, and obviously that's not something that we're used to doing around here and can't do. But we did respond. I thought we pressured their quarterback. We did not allow him to get in a rhythm. We were 90% effective on third down. We stopped the run, and guys played hard. Negatives, we didn't get a takeaway on defense. So it's something we got to improve there. On special teams, like I said, I think other than the 2 pooch punts that Shane hit that were good punts, we just need to do a better job with our coverage unit there of getting those fielded inside the 10. Both of them ended up being touchbacks. On the Wake, a great team that we're playing. I know they're coming off a tough loss, uncharacteristic game for them, turning the ball over. They were, I think, second in the league in turnover margin prior to that game. But they're very well coached, and the receivers really jump off the film to me. I know Hartman is a tremendous player for them, but the receivers are big guys. I mean, they're 6'4", 6'5", 6'3", and they catch the ball very well. They use their bodies well. Sam's obviously a gutsy competitor, has a lot of talent, knows their offense back and forth. They're scoring a lot of points. They're ranked second in the league in scoring offense and 38 points a game, third in total offense, fourth and third down offense. Big receivers are averaging 14 yards a catch. The backs are averaging 4.5 yards a carry. So it's going to be a great challenge, great opportunity. Excited to play them. And I know Coach Clausen, have known him a long time, have great respect for him, and he's done a nice job, hiring some guys defensively that I have great respect for as well. But it's a long-standing game, 130-year-old game that's been played, and 115 consecutive games against each other. So, it was an in-state game and a rivalry game. It's an important game for both teams. It's critical that we have a great atmosphere for this one. It's a night game. It's our homecoming, and our team's overcome a lot. We've been through quite a bit, trying to figure out these pieces as we were missing guys. And as I mentioned in the Syracuse game, one time we had 10 guys off the field. And it was great to get Trent Penix back and to see Devin Carter in the game and see Chandler Zavala in the game, and feel like we're going to have Demi Sumo this week. So we're starting to get some key ingredients back on offense. And now that we've settled in with MJ as our starter at quarterback, we need the fans with us. And there's a lot to play for. You got 2 6-2 teams that are really good, in my opinion, that fight. They're competitive. And it's going to be a good football game. And for us, being at home, we're here, man. We're fighting. We're doing everything we can to win games. We've had 2 incredible comebacks this season. And so, for our players and staff and coaches, asking that the fan base and the student body be the difference in this game, be the difference for this team. Make this stadium shake. We've got a 15-game winning streak in the Carter, and let's do everything we can to come out and support the team and make the opponent's offense unable to hear their cadence, make it where they can't hear their clap. Be the difference in this football game. And let's make the night game environment on a homecoming night for such a special group of young men special for them, and that's something that I think we all want. We want this football team to play its best football, and that is 100% easier to do when the other side of the ball can't hear. And so, pleading for that, looking forward to the environment and the homecoming atmosphere, and I know our team's excited. Probably our last home game. Sounds like it is our last night home game of the year. I saw our kick time got released for next week at 3:30, so let's make it the best one that we've had. With that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Rob.
Yes, sir. Past 3 seasons, no Liberty, Pittsburgh, last year was Carolina, and then you've I think 3 games this year. You've kind of rallied later, pulled out maybe even improbable wins. What are the characteristics about your team that you think that have led to them getting those victories, even in situations where maybe it didn't look like they would?
Well, I think it starts with just faith, in what we do. I think there's a love here between the players and coaches, and a grit, a resiliency, a belief system, a culture that quitting is not an option, period. And our guys know that. And no matter what, we're going to play till the last second on the clock expires. And to me, losing a game is one thing, quitting in a game, I don't think I could coach on that team, and so something that the last 2 years we've done some remarkable things in the fourth quarter. We have. And that says a lot about the character of these young men and the culture that we've built.
David. Hey, Dave. We saw on the depth chart that MJ is listed as QB1. Is the plan still for him to split snaps with Chambers going forward?
We haven't talked about it yet. He's the starter, and obviously we have the ability to play both, but haven't gotten into all that with the staff yet.
Corey?
Dave, from last week, Savion Jackson wasn't listed on the depth chart. Is there any status update for him?
Yeah, Savion's out for the year. Unfortunately, a knee injury that required surgery, and he'll be back healthy. But it was a season-ending deal that happened up at Syracuse.
And follow up on that, how big of a deal is it to have a guy like C.J. Clark back this season to be able to fill that void along with some younger players?
Yeah, it's helpful. I mean, it's unfortunate for Savion, but to have someone like C.J. that's been rotating and playing, and obviously Travali, takes on more now, and it'd be different, if you didn't have someone that's a returning starter probably, as far as how you feel as a staff, just because we have experience behind experience in a couple positions, that being one of them. So that helped. It hurts the rotation, is where it really hurts you. When you're rotating Savion and CJ, it's a little different, so it puts a little bit more on those guys over the course of 4 games, just, probably 10 reps more apiece than they may have been playing. But I know CJ's excited about his opportunity, and Travali and, the guys that'll get more.
James?
Yeah, Dave, you mentioned their offense earlier, Wake Forest. What is it that makes them so tough to defend with their scheme? And is there a position group you really look at going into a given game that's important against them?
Well, it depends on, what year you're playing them. Right now, it's the quarterback and the receivers are just, Sam's playing so well. And not that he wasn't last year. He played really well last year, too. But, he makes that thing go. The receivers they have are big guys that really catch the ball well, and he gives them a chance to make plays or earn PIs when he throws it up. And so that's the hardest part of it. If it would just be, hey, take away this receiver and they're one-dimensional, they've got a lot of good receivers, and they rotate guys in. Their running game's different just because of the timing of it, and so you have to be patient. You have to set edges, and you got to do your job. And sometimes the monotonous part of where is the ball, it can hurt you. All of a sudden it bounces out and you didn't know he had it. You're not sure who's carrying it. So it's just the timing of it along with the talent that they've recruited and developed on the perimeter. As far as position groups go, they're all important, man. I mean, coverage and pass rush are together, so they're all important.
And I wanted to ask you about Aiden White. I know you guys recruited him out of high school as a defensive back, but he played a lot of receiver. Do you see those ball skills translate over for him at that position? Yeah,
you do. He's got really good ball skills. I think, as a secondary as a whole, we've worked really hard in that area. And Aiden's a natural ball catcher. Cyrus is a natural ball catcher. And then you've seen some other guys improve their ability to catch and track the football. But it helps when the guys you recruit are natural at that, and you don't have to teach them. Some of them literally played one way their whole life, and didn't get that opportunity. Some of these schools now don't play guys both ways anymore, so kids don't get that same learning curve of being a two-way player in high school always that they used to.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Gibby?
Yeah, Dave, I imagine when MJ was third string at quarterback in practice, he wasn't probably getting the reps he is now. Just how important is it that he's getting the reps, more reps right now? And do you think that kind of translated in his performance on Thursday?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's hard to get 3 players ready, period. And talking about quarterbacks, it's an impossible thing to do. To MJ's credit, he would stand behind our offense, and he was very diligent about mental reps and going through the play on air behind Devin or behind Jack. And now he's getting the physical reps, as you mentioned, so that's only going to, accelerate his ability to function and do more within the system.
David?
You know, you mentioned MJ and then a guy like Terrell Timmons. Is that something where two young guys, had time this season to really, connect and work on the relationship, and then we see that play out against Virginia Tech?
I'm not sure if I can answer that one accurately. I mean, Terrell's been on the scout team, and MJ's been on the varsity field, and so they haven't been throwing the ball to each other every day. Now they hang out together, they're in the same recruiting class, and there's a friendship that may be part of that, David, but the rep part of it's not accurate. Now in one-on-ones they're with each other every day, but that's a 5 to 10 minute segment of practice. So yeah, I think Terrell's a really gifted ball catcher. I'm not sure if it mattered who's throwing it up there. He's going to go up and get it. He has that gift. And like I said last week, it's just trying to get him more and more reps so that, you can trust that he's going to do the right things all the time. And he's working really hard at that. He's spending a lot of time, on his own, just trying to pick up little nuances for a guy that wasn't here early, right? He didn't get here till summer too. So he's trying to play catch up still.
Chip.
Hey, Dave, you mentioned Peyton Wilson earlier in the game that he played the other night. For a guy with a lot of injuries and all the things he's gone through, how would you assess his season this year? And did he have to change anything in the way he played? I know he was always a 100 miles per hour kind of guy.
Yeah, he is. I'm happy for him, first of all. I think it's been a long journey for him. His injury problem started in high school, and his final season, he didn't get to play at all. So to see him healthy and playing the way he is makes me feel good. I'm happy for him and his family. I think he's learned how to practice smarter, Chip. He still runs like he does during the game, but the contact piece he's learned, he doesn't have to run over somebody all the time. He can use his hands and be smarter in practice to avoid, putting himself at risk. I think he's learned how to do that, definitely has, so that he can be available and not just want to play, but be available to play and, using those contact reps when they're needed.
Jason?
Hey, Dave, you spent a few minutes there pleading for fan support Saturday. Your Twitter account retweeted a tweet that was critical of fans who left the Virginia Tech game early. After the game, you did thank the fans that stuck it out, but how much of a frustration was there with those who left early, and was that you that retweeted that? That's
funny. It's funny. I was sitting there, and I was like, I'm going to play an experiment here. If I hit I like this, what's different than if I hit I retweet this? What would happen? And so I just did it, and then this happened. So it's pretty comical to me. Going back 10 years, man, my first press conference after we beat Louisiana Tech, I thanked the fans for coming and then pleaded with the fans to stay. This isn't new that I want our stadium full until the end of the game. It's not. And so, I don't understand why that upset the Twitterverse. I'm sorry that I upset the Twitterverse, don't do that. But, yeah, I'm here to support our team. I'm here to make our program better. I know it doesn't always look that way when we're not scoring enough points, and we're trying, But I was told we really want to win a championship at this school when I got here, and so I care deeply about this program. I care deeply about these players, and I'm going to fight for them, And I think having a stadium that's full for 4 quarters helps you win. I think it helps you recruit, too. I do. I think when a recruit comes to your campus and he sees that you can sell out your games and they stay for 4 quarters, and it was the coolest thing he's ever seen, that helps you recruit. And if you recruit better, you play better. And if you play better, you win more. So, yeah, I think that's an important thing for everybody to understand. And if they want to go home, they can. But I'm still going to continue to fight to make our program better. As far as the retweet thing, again, that was a fun experiment that was a success or a failure, I guess, however you look at it. But, I had a Saturday off. I was bored. I thought, let's try something new here. But all good, man. Excited to have, a crazy, crazy stadium on Saturday night at 8 o'clock.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Rob?
You mentioned how long State and Wake have played each other these many years. In your time at NC State, it's really become almost a must-see game. It's really exciting. The games have been close lately. Your thoughts on how this rivalry has grown in your time and how big of a college football game it is?
Yeah, well, it's, the second longest standing consecutive rivalry in the country. And I think the Wisconsin-Minnesota is the other one that might be in front of us. So it's a historical event, for one. And both of us, Coach Clausen and I, have built our programs really from the ground up through developmental processes that we both believe in, and have created, two long-standing programs with long-standing head coach, and both of us have done it the right way in recruiting and through development. I have a lot of respect for them. So, yeah, I think it's a game that comes down to one possession almost every year. And it seems like whoever has the ball last comes away with it. And last year it came down to an onside kick that we felt like we got, and they felt like we didn't. It was just one of those games. And we got them here in 2020. And so I think the last 12 were 6-6. It's a really, I don't know if you call it evenly matched, because, however you guys look at that, you can figure that out. But it's two good football teams that are in the same state that I think do things the right way, and it's going to be a good game.
James?
Dave, you got back Trent Penix this past week. Just watching the tape back, your thoughts first week with him back in the lineup for you?
Yeah, it makes a difference. It's a position that has produced a lot for us over the years. And Trent, as you guys know, brings a different element to the tight end room. It's not just a guy that can catch, but he can run after the catch. He caught a little spacing route and turned it into a 10-yard gain after the catch, and instead of just getting caught catching a ball and being tackled, he's a run after the catch threat. And to me, that's huge to have. He's a guy that blocks hard, he plays hard, he can catch the football, he runs good routes. So it just adds another piece to the offense that allows certain things to, get explosive at times in another position room.
And kind of a similar question, you mentioned maybe getting Demi back this week. Is that some of the same stuff you're missing from having him? Like, are they kind of similar in what they can provide? Obviously different positions, but
yeah. Well, I think so. Demi's had a lot of explosive plays in his short number of reps. And so, the serving size isn't maybe big, but the production out of it's been good, really good. And so would like to have that back in the offense again, and he won't be able to play a whole game. We'd be rotating guys anyway, Jordan and he and whoever else we end up putting back there, whether it's DeMarcus or Delbert or Michael Allen. I just think adding another player to the mix that brings an explosive element to the game. He's hard to tackle one-on-one. He's physical. He's a really good blocker and pass protection too. So, Demi brings some things, and hopefully we'll have him. I can't guarantee it, but he is feeling better than he did the last couple weeks.
Matt?
Yeah, Dave, obviously MJ and Terrell Timmons had big games Saturday. Are there some other freshmen that maybe you're having the luxury of redshirting because of the experience you have that have really kind of excited you guys in developmental practices so far this year?
Well, we're very excited about a lot of them. I think Michael Allen, you got to see him run a little bit. Can't remember what game that was now, but he's got another gear, and so Michael's a guy we're super excited about. On defense, I think Dejon Thompson, linebacker, torn right, those two guys work hard every day. Brandon Cleveland has gotten a lot better on the defensive line. And so it's just a matter of time, and obviously when your depth chart flips over when guys leave, but they're going up against starters every day and getting to see them get better and better and better. And so those guys come to mind off the top of my head.
Thanks, Dave.
I don't see any more hands up. Is that everything for Coach?
All right, y'all.
All right, Coach. Thanks.
Have fun
Thanks,
tonight.
everybody.
Enjoy your Halloween.